All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Angry Asian Uncle podcast. I am your host, Reynold, and my co host.
Hey, it's Vic. As usual, happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes, happy
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween.
And that's right. And then for Halloween, we have a special guest with us. All
Dun
right.
dun
So I'm
dun.
turning the mic over
Oh.
to Hurricane.
Hey, how's everybody doing? My name is Donnell Moten. Some people call me Hurricane. Everyone works. Hope everybody's doing good. I am a songwriter, rapper, singer, podcaster, motivator, inspirator, father, um, man, book writer, all types of things, man. Um, I'm from Tucson, Arizona as well. I'm currently in Harrington, Kansas. I came out here to bring a new genre of music called Retina Rap. And it's music that motivates the blind, visually impaired, people with retinitis pigmentosa. So that is my movement, that is my niche, everything retinitis pigmentosa, everything blind awareness. Um, Other than that, man, I'm basically anything else, man. That's what we're here to talk about. I'm here to tell you guys about myself, man, and enjoy my time here with Vic and Reynold, man, and have a good time here on the podcast, man.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'm already
Thank
having a blast.
you. Right?
Yeah,
This is exciting,
I got
right? Another multi talented person.
Yeah. Hey, Hurricane, you know what? Like me and Reynolds, we have this ongoing joke that all our guests are like overachievers, and it makes it both of us because we're Asian, it makes us feel like, oh no, what have I been doing with my life? This is
yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah,
talented
yeah,
people problem. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I do this, 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 and that, and I'm like, I barely have one of those going on in my life. So
Right.
I
Yeah,
bet you it's I
exactly.
bet you it's a
it's
lot
a
of people.
talented
It's a
people
lot of people
problem.
that
Me and Reynolds, we don't have that.
It's a lot of people that look for your enthusiasm, though. I promise you, man. People get on this show. And believe it or not, as much talent as some of us might have, and we get on this show, I promise you, we come on this show with no enthusiasm, and by the time we leave with the same enthusiasm that you guys put out.
Oh,
So
thanks, bro.
don't count
Yeah,
you
let's
guys'
just have a
hopes
good
out,
time.
man.
Yeah, let's just have a good time.
Yes, exactly. Let's have a good time. This is, of
Yeah,
course, the Halloween special, right? So we got to have a
Halloween
good time,
special. That's right. Wow,
right?
what
yeah,
a milestone,
yeah.
right?
Happy
For
Halloween.
the Angry
Right.
Asian Uncle podcast, our first,
Exactly.
holiday special. I can't believe we've made it this far.
Yeah.
It just started with the two of us just chatting about bullshit and nothing, right? And then now
Right.
we're on
Exactly.
to our what is
Right.
it,
Yeah,
like eighth,
yeah,
ninth episode,
yeah.
and like we're actually hitting an actual holiday, and we have a special
Yes.
guest. How cool is that?
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Glad to be
All right.
here. Glad to be here.
Thank- Well, yes, of course. Thank you. Thank you for yeah. Let's talk some more. So I have RP as well. So um, when did you get diagnosed? Like when did
I
you
was di-
first realize it? Yeah.
I was I was diagnosed. Let me start when I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed at 11 years old.
Wow.
I didn't. It didn't hit me. Physically, I didn't realize it until maybe about sixth or seventh grade.
Okay.
Um, Playing because I played sports a lot. Basketball, football. Um, I played other sports, but I mean, as far as like taking it seriously, playing for like schools and stuff, basketball, football. I was a big basketball player. So
Oh,
sixth
nice.
and seventh grade was about the age that I kind of noticed it playing basketball. Playing sports
Uh-huh.
is kind of how I figured it out.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That must have
Oh,
been
okay.
hard too, Hurricane, because sixth, seventh grade is when you first start. You get attracted to girls, and
Yeah,
that's the time when you
yeah.
want to prove yourself in sports. Yeah, I mean, what a time to
Well,
be diagnosed with RP.
here's the thing that the thing with RP, well, my because everybody's RP is different. So the thing with my RP was when I when it started affecting me as a teenager, it didn't. And when I say I realized it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this eye disease is like now getting at me. Now I know. It was more like phase one is more like, could it be the RP, or do I just need to go get new glasses? And so I went and got new glasses, and of course it doesn't cure it, obviously, but it makes it a lot better. So the fact that it made it a lot better, my young mind was just like, oh, this is how it cures it, I guess. Not cures it, but this is how it
Fix
it
it
makes it
for the moment.
better. This is what fixes it. So
Yeah.
once I got the glasses, it was like, as long as I got my glasses, who cares? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was
Yes.
still something. It was still something I put off. It wasn't something
Yes.
that I was like, I need to get prepared. You know.
Yes, I totally understand. I was in the same boat. I think in the beginning it was like, oh, can I just get some glasses or something and just power through this, right? It's because
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
still in the beginning. It's not like a overnight thing. It doesn't happen.
It's
Oh,
not.
someone tells you, oh, you have RP, and then the next day you can't see. It's for me. I
Yeah.
mean, I had it for 20 years myself as well. It's a slowly gradual degeneration, where in the beginning, when I first someone told like my doctor told me about it, I was in my for me it was our early 20s. I was graduating
Mm-hmm.
college, and then I was able to drive, of course. I wasn't driving well,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
was
didn't you
able
get into
Yeah.
to
an
Same.
accident,
drive.
Reynolds? Yeah, you got
Yes,
into an
I
accident,
got in
right?
an accident, and because I was actually trying to go get my M1, I was trying to go get a. I remember trying to go get uh, first get my M1 so I could get my motorcycle because I was saving up for that,
Mm-hmm.
and ride around with
Yeah.
my buddies because that was the thing we were into. Everyone was
Yeah.
into at that early 20s. Everyone's getting those Gixxers, and then I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I want one. I want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of coming away from the DMV with the M1, I got into an accident,
Yeah.
and then
Shoot,
yeah,
man.
and then you blame
I
everything, right? It's like, oh, it's the sun. The it came
Yeah.
from my blind side or something. Like every excuse
Yeah.
to say, hey, I can still drive, right?
Well, I never
I
asked you
get
this,
that.
Reynolds, and I want to ask Hurricane as well. So, like, how much vision do you have left? I mean, how much can you see now? Like, let's start with Hurricane. How much can you see now?
So, well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of curious with Reynold, because
Yeah.
I haven't, up until this year, I haven't gotten to talk to nobody with RP, nobody else.
Oh, really?
This is my first, not even a year yet. I don't even think it's been a full year that I've been in the RP community yet.
Right.
And so, I'm not joking. I haven't. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. Nobody, you meet blind, you meet people of the blind, you meet visual, people with visual impairment. But I've never met nobody. One person I went to daycare with as a child who
Oh,
had retinitis
really?
pigmentosa. But other than her, I've never met nobody else
Oh,
with
wow.
retinitis
Okay.
pigmentosa. So I'm
That's very
curious more
interesting.
about, what his, is. I'm willing to share mine if you're willing to share yours, Reynold.
Yeah.
I want to
I'm
hear
an open book
what
too.
yours is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
I'm
hear
an
it too.
open
Well,
book
other
Actually,
too.
than
yeah.
I apologize. Real quick. Other than my mom and my brother, my mom has retinitis pigmentosa, but outside of family,
Right.
I should have said. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
I want to know about yours.
Okay. Well, I have met a lot of I want to say like a lot, but RP is sort of they consider it rare, but
Hmm.
I if you're in the blind community, and I took a long I try to steer away for a very long time. I try to steer away from any blind community. Like it's only recently I started joining like Facebook groups and stuff like that because
Yeah.
I mean half was because of the podcast. I want to bring some more people on, but the other part when I was first starting out my journey to try to entrench myself in those communities, it's almost like saying I that I'm accepting that I'm blind. Like I didn't want to accept that I'm going blind. So when I first started, I was like, no, I want to stick with the regular people. I want to go out there and ride motorcycles. I want to go hiking and rock climbing. I want to do
Yeah.
sports. Like I don't want to be associated with you blind people. No
Yeah.
offense, but
Yeah.
back then it was like, no, they're not cool. I want to be with the cool people. So
Yeah.
I
I
really,
understand that.
yeah, I really made an effort not to even join the, and because when you diagnose, people give you resources like, oh, like I'm in California, so you like go to the Braille Institute, join the National Foundation of the Blind, go to all these associations, all these nonprofit, they'll help you get over this, or they'll help you deal with this. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm gonna be a regular person. Like I'm not gonna go. It's just gonna make me depressed. But I think if you actually do join those coming like for like when I went to like the Braille Institute in here in California, all these there's actually a lot of people in those communities, in those associations that have RP, and that's sort of how I um, sort of connect to other people. Um, but of course, like say, like nowadays I try to play golf. It's like blind golf basically, and then the
Yeah.
person that helps me or that taught me is also has RP too. So it's um it's really just joining the community. And I think people not like I feel sometimes people are reserved. Being a blind person, when you start really can't see, you're sort of not only do other people put you in an isolated place, you sometimes put yourself in an isolated place. And then
Yeah.
you sort of
Yeah.
don't talk to other people because you think, oh, that's too much trouble to go out and meet people. Oh, there's too much trouble, or I'm just a burden. Like, how am I going to get there? All these negative thoughts come in, and then you sort of just don't. So, but I think if you really want to, you just need to get out. For me, it's just like if you really want to go get out there and meet people, just like hey, just like back then when you want to meet a girl, you go out to the bars and you go out to the clubs, right? And then hey,
Yeah.
I want to go
Yeah.
meet a girl, right? And that's sort of the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you want to meet other people with your condition, you just got to go to where they are and just go out and meet them. So it's the same idea.
The 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 crazy part about it is, well, about the way I came up with RP, um, is how you say how, people isolate and I and this isn't to, aside myself from the RP group, and we all live the same struggle, we fight the same fight. I want to make
Yes.
that, perfectly clear. My route, as I was telling Vic a bit ago, different. For isolation for me was being in was being in a jail cell. That was the best. That was like the best isolation for me. Like I used to tell people that, when I got older, as an adult, and people are like, oh my God, like that shouldn't be. And it's like, no, you find comfort in certain things. Certain things when I was younger, I found comfort in that just kind of made it better for me. And in my jail cell growing up, because I was in and out of juvenile detention as a teenager. I've had a couple county jail stints. But my main thing was when I was a teenager. When RP was affecting me the most was my teenage years.
Okay.
Um, and what being in that jail cell, having that isolation time for me rather than isolating out here on the outs gave me more strength. I guess more strength when I can. It's like I didn't need to isolate being out here just because I had so much isolation time already, if that makes sense. When isolation is forced
Yes.
on you, it's different. You want to come out of isolation. So
Yes, of course.
I didn't see or I didn't feel the want to want to isolate due to people making fun of me or being embarrassed. I come from a world where you make fun of me, we throw down. You know what I mean? That's how that
Yes.
goes. So when I come out of the isolation that I come from, and now I'm in the outside world, and I'm being made fun of, or it's like, who you making fun of? Or I might clown back with you. You might be more mad than me by the time we done, because I just only thing you got on me is my eyesight. That's
Right.
it. All you can say is that what I'm blind. You call me Ray Charles. I've been called the Stevie Wonder jokes, and because
Right.
how I do music. So it's
Yes.
when you do music and you have retinitis pigmentosa. Oh man, the Ray Charles jokes, the
Right.
the Stevie Wonder's jokes, man. The
Yes.
any
Any
musician
blind
with an
person.
eyesight.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
for me, yeah,
yeah.
they always tell
Any.
me, yeah, I always get the Daredevil thing. Like we're not, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I haven't got that one. I haven't got the Daredevil thing yet, but I've always looked up to the Daredevil. So
right.
man, that's not even an insult,
I
man.
wouldn't
That's
mind a
man.
Daredevil thing though. If somebody called me that, like that's a cool one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Daredevil kicks ass, man. That's
yeah,
shoot. I
is
used
it, yeah,
I used to read the comics, so Daredevil got a whole series and comics behind
exactly.
him, movies and all that.
Yeah,
So hey, thank him for the compliment, man. At the end of the day,
yeah,
but
uh,
my
yes,
my whole outlook, that's what I don't try to inspire the crime or not, like, but my attitude towards retinitis pigmentosa, the isolation that you talk about.
right,
um I'm not going to say there was no isolation. There was definitely a lot of isolation for me. It was forced isolation through probation violations and crimes, and having to be put in jail a bunch of times, and kind of self-motivating, not even necessarily self-motivating, just kind of. I was explaining to Vic a race against time. And by
uh,
that, by a race against time, I meant trying to get, trying to live and do things that I'm not
Yeah, that was my takeaway as
into.
well. Like when you told me that, like
Mhm.
the impression that I got was like you wanted to extract the most out of life, while you still
yes,
had
Yeah,
your vision. That's kind of what I
yeah.
got from it.
And yeah,
yes.
and these things, and we all know, to live costs money, whether
Oh,
people want to
yes, of
admit it or
course.
not, or
Yes,
happiness is the key to, nah, man, we got to, and my mindset as a teenager is that, man, happiness don't pay for shit around here, man. We got to pay money. So
right,
that's where the crime came from. It's like the hurt came, the hurt for retinitis pigmentosa for me only came when I failed to make money.
right.
When I failed to make money, that meant, I'm that much further away from having the benefits I need to do what I want to do before this is done. Before I'm not able to see, because the mindset I had was, once the vision's gone, everything's done. I can't see this. I can't see grandkid. I can't see this. I can't see. So I'm trying to get this in as much as possible, gather as much money as possible, so that way when I go blind, I've lived enough to be like, all right, I'm cool with being blind. But at the end of the day, are we ever, what I didn't realize was, are we ever cool with being blind? Does somebody
Exactly.
ever wake up like, yeah, this is great, no.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that up until last year. Last year was my first year here in Kansas, was one of
Hmm.
the hardest fights with retinitis pigmentosa of my life. And I've had it since 11 years old. I've never had a fight harder. All the stuff I've been through, jail, almost dying, well, not even almost. I did die on the table 3 times. I
Oh,
had to be
wow.
Oh, man.
resuscitated, and yeah, and the hardest fight of my life was just last year, having to finally accept help,
Mm,
not even just accepting the retinitis pigmentosa, accepting the immobility that comes with it, not being it, having, can't work the 9 to 5s anymore, you
right.
know, and then receiving the help um that I needed all in one.
Yes.
So
Man.
last year was the
That's a lot to take
hardest.
in. That's a lot to
Yes.
take
Yeah.
in for anyone. Yeah.
Oh
Man.
my gosh, it was hard. And then and like I said, the way I grew up, got to get that money so I could do this. Got to get that money.
Right.
And then to be told, dude, you can't work. Well, first off, you know how it goes. The phase one of you're working, and then the
Yes.
employers start with the, hey, you got to go home for the day, man. I think you're kind of messing things up, and then the termination letters, and then the constant trying to find another job, and then the
Right.
final, hey, man, you can't work, man.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
nail in the
and
coffin, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're so used to trying to bring cash in
Hmm.
that right there was probably the biggest hit for me with this
Guys,
whole
guys, I'm
retinitis
learning
thing.
so much about RP because of you guys. One of the things I remember in our earlier episodes, Reynolds was telling me a story about how having RP kind of makes it a bummer to attend parties, like how you're kind of
Yeah,
relegated to the children's table. People like kind of like, oh well, he's blind. We'll put him there, together with the kids, and then we'll give him some food and leave him alone for the rest of the party. Maybe we'll come back for him,
yeah,
towards the end. So
Yeah.
like
yeah,
it's a funny
yeah,
story, but I think, all jokes aside, it speaks to, and this is what I'm learning from you guys, okay, and especially doing more and more episodes, is that I think what we all want is a sense of self-respect, and we want to be able to do things for ourselves, and then to be accepted for just being a capable human being, right? I think the hardest part is losing a faculty that is so vital that it strips away slowly those things that we take for granted but mean so much as a person when you live in this world, right? I think that's
yeah,
that's what we're
Yes.
trying to get at. And to share something of my own, I was telling Reynolds this before because I suffer from chronic pain. I was hit by a car a couple of years ago and I almost died, right? And then so I was crippled for a couple of months, and that experience was just the hardest part wasn't even the pain. It was just you get the stares, you get the pity, you get the,
yeah,
I don't know, people just like, oh, he's a cripple, and then sometimes I should say most of the time people don't mean any harm. They're not inherently trying to be mean to you, but they kind of dismiss you, and that's the part that hurts.
yeah,
I think for all
yeah,
of us, if I get this correctly, hearing what you guys are saying, the part that kind of hurts is like you get dismissed, and you're like you're not part of the discussion anymore. You're not part of the table anymore. And we work very hard to try to not put ourselves in that situation, and also try not to be a burden on other people, right? So that's why we try to take care of ourselves
yeah.
as much as we can, right? I think that's what we're trying to get at. It's just so interesting to
That's
me because like you guys have the same condition but apply the same thing to different lives, and different outcomes result from that, and I'm just endlessly fascinated by it.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Everything Hurricane
It's
said, yeah. Everything Hurricane said, I totally relate. I mean, I totally relate to everything that you've been saying and that you went through, because I
yeah.
experienced the same. Um,
I wanted to
as
ask you what path you, because I was telling Vic too. Like a lot of people chose different, but like I chose a life of crime to deal
Wow,
with how I had to, I guess, deal with retinitis pigmentosa. Because I put it that way, but it's not
right,
necessarily. Well, I guess you could say the root was retinitis. Because I mean, if I'm trying to get this cash and live my life before I go
right.
blind, then the root, of course, is retinitis pigmentosa. So my question for you would what was your route that you took? For example, like mine was I took the life of crime to deal with
Right.
RP.
Well,
You
before
know,
Reynolds answers that, let me
Yeah.
just share something. In Chinese, we call that uh 一天当两天用. Roughly translated, that's like you're living 48 hours and 24 hours. That's like a
Yeah.
Chinese
yeah,
expression. It's like you're trying to
Yeah.
I like
extract the
that.
most out
I
of
like
life,
that.
out of your experiences. So it's almost like you're, another way to put it would be like you're living two lifetimes in one. You know,
Yeah,
Oh,
in
yeah,
Hurricane's
for
yes.
case, like
sure.
he
Sure.
was
Yes.
driven to extremes to do the things that he did because he was trying to extract as much as he can because he felt like he was running out of time, right? Okay, now Reynolds,
Um,
go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
yeah, the running out of time, it's I resonate with that. I think I also felt that too. So it's nice to hear that we were experiencing the same thoughts. I mean, I thought I was alone when I was first started out. When I first diagnosed, I was graduating college. I had a computer science degree. It was better back then. Your dream, you're coming out with that degree, and you're going to be
Yeah.
making six figures, right? Because and
Yeah.
then and especially as in an Asian Asian family, in an Asian community, is like that's all that matters for us. It's same,
Yeah.
I guess, same with every culture, right? It's like that's what, happiness is second. Where's the money? Show me the money, right? So it's
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
and our first episode, if you listen to it, it was all about our worth. So as a person, as an Asian person, as a Chinese person, if I wasn't able to have a good job and make the big bucks, make the six figures, make the seven figures, I'm useless. I'm
Yeah.
Even if I'm making five figures, I'm like average, right? And then
Mhm.
if you're making zero, then you're you're
That
you're
pressure is
dead
Yeah.
meat.
true
Bottom of
for
the
all
bottom.
communities,
Yeah.
but I think for Asian communities, we feel that very strongly. It's just ingrained in our
Yes.
culture, you know?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I also was felt like I'm out of time. Like when, because the doctors can't tell you, oh, when exactly are the lights going to go off? Like it's been 20 years, I
Yeah.
can still see a little. I mean, I'm low partial compared to 20
Yeah.
years ago, but it's like they couldn't tell
Yeah.
you when the lights will go off. And you're just like, oh, is it going to be tomorrow? It's going to be next year. How can I make
Yeah.
$1 million in 1 year? Right. And then I
Yeah.
go down the rabbit hole of all these trying to get rich quick schemes. I did the
Yeah.
multi-level marketing stuff because people said, "Oh yeah, you did, or you do." I had one friend like, "Let's do real estate." That's before it was 2000. So right. So a few years before the 2008 crash, where they were handing out mortgage loans, was you don't have zero credit, zero down. So he said, "Look, this is how we're going to do it. Just you got good you got good credit, so they're going to hand you mortgages like left and right. So let's just buy a bunch of
Yeah.
houses, and we're gonna be making bank and collect rent and making bank." And then I was like young and like, I was in my early 20s, like, yeah, this is gonna work. And then, man, I bought a whole bunch of houses with zero, because they were handing it out like candy, with zero
Yeah.
percent interest. I mean, not interest, what the 0% down. And then we're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and and then he said, yeah, I'll get the don't worry, I'll get people in the houses, get renting, whether there be legitimate or doing legitimate, just like you,
Yeah.
if they're doing
Yeah.
legitimate business or not, right? So
Yeah.
that's sort of
Yeah.
shady side, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
just hold on to the house, and we're gonna be rich. And then I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then, hey, let's just say crime doesn't pay, right? So everything went
Yeah.
to went
Yeah.
to went to went to the gutters. I I'm just sitting there with all these homes foreclosing on me, and I'm like, man, this feels terrible. Right. I mean, I couldn't,
Yeah.
of course, I can't pay anything. So I'm just like, yeah, just foreclose on me. I mean, what am I going to do? So,
Let
and
it
then,
happen. Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm like you, I'm just trying to chase, where am I going to make money? Because I was also, remember, I was in a relationship. I'm one of those, I was one of those kids that couldn't get a date for, if, you know, if, in high school, like, even
I was
I
kind
was
of
just a
saying that.
terrible girl, right? Terrible with girls. I'm not the best
Same.
looking guy. And then I got one girlfriend in college, and I thought that was the Hail Mary. That's the all, that's the only shot I got in a relationship. So,
Yep.
and then when I was, it felt like she was graduating, and then she went on to like going to pharmacy school. So she's making something of herself, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So, and then the choice was to stay or to walk, and she walked. And that was, that was really crushing too. Like, so all these
Yeah.
things are
I can
happening. You can't
imagine.
make money. Girl leaving you. I mean, back, when you're young, that's like a big
Yeah.
thing when you're first, first breakup, especially with something you can't control. And then it's like, and then, that little, it's a subtle comment like, oh, I don't want to be the one that always have to drive, like, because that's
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
happening. I don't hate her for saying that, because that is the honest truth. I mean, as a guy, I don't know if it's true, at least for even in Asian culture, the guy's supposed to provide. The guy drives. The guy
Yeah.
does all the
We grew up
manly
with the
heavy
same thing.
lifting stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you right, and then when you get that taken away from you, it's like you're not a man anymore, and
Yeah.
then you're not even a person anymore. So yeah,
Yeah.
I went through that, and my outlet was I think my isolation was, although I didn't turn to life, you know, do any crime stuff. What I was sent over to Taiwan. That's where I started. That was my sort of isolation time. I was sent to Taiwan. At that time, I wasn't Christian, so I was still in between, sort of Buddhist, Christian, and
Yeah.
my parents sort of sent me
Yeah.
to Taiwan, out into the boonies where they had this temple Buddhist school thing, whatever. Uh, whatever it was. Anyways, it was out like in nowhere land, right in the middle of Taiwan. Vic might know Yunling, so it's called Yunling area, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, I'm
basically
from Taiwan, and even I feel that's isolated. You know.
yeah, and then I, I was just there to actually, and then I was just there to uh, do the garden, just do the landscape, just water the lawn, water the trees, plant trees, and stuff like that. Uh, that's all I had. I didn't. They it was a like a sort of a school, so they had like a kids and stuff like that. 1,000. So I wasn't part of like you would think, come around they would I would be like, oh, helping teach English or something. No, I just went
Yeah.
out there with the gardeners or the landscapers, and then just like, all day long I
I
would
hate
just
to
water
say it, Reynolds,
lawns.
but it sounds like your parents put you on timeout. You
Yeah,
know.
what's up
Yeah.
time out?
Yeah.
And then I thought I was
Yeah.
and then for even for half a year or a year, I thought, this is my life. I'll be okay with this, and this is
Yeah,
it.
but that's so
This is
devastating. I mean,
yeah,
hearing both Hurricane and your story, it's especially for a man, it's very emasculating. You know,
yeah,
it really hurts. You know,
Yeah.
it's even like comments from your ex girlfriend, right? About, oh, I got to drive again. I mean, that really stings. You know, let's not make light of it, right? I
right,
mean,
Yeah.
small comment, but those are the things that really jab the deepest. You know, little comments like
Yeah.
that, and it's not really her fault, but it hurts
right.
a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
And we haven't even mentioned the parent factor. I don't know about where you're from, Hurricane, but for Asians, Reynolds hasn't even talked about the disappointment his parents must be feeling. I think let me try to contextualize that. Asian parents are not monsters, but they're from a culture where they do expect certain things from their kids, especially if you're the only son in the family.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a very conservative, very old fashioned society. And so, on top of all the things that Reynolds just talked about and you talked about in Asian culture, there's that, crushing disappointment that you feel from your parents. They might not even tell you outright, but you can feel it. You can feel it. And then
Definitely.
it permeates the room. And nobody likes that feeling of having disappointed your parents, right?
Of course.
And here you are getting more and more desperate because, like you guys said, you're running out of time and you're trying to make
yeah,
something of yourself, trying not to be a disappointment to the family. But it feels like you're grasping at straws. You're running out of options because with each day that passes by, you're losing more and more of your sight. And at the same time, opportunities don't exactly just present themselves, so it's that kind of pressure that I feel that you guys actually, fast forward to today, I feel you guys have handled it pretty well because that kind of pressure would crush anybody.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah,
I want to elaborate on that. You build, and I'm pretty sure Reynold could relate, even though, and that's why I had asked him to explain his route that he chose, because even though we chose the opposite, the pain drove us to take our own route, other than kind of soaking in it. It
right,
it it drove us to hurry up, and regardless of the rush, it
hmm
drove us to want to be something better rather than, oh man, I got this retinitis pigmentosa disease, and man, I'm this, I'm that, and but what that's not the only thing that builds it. Where, and I'm pretty sure and Randall, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, where we got to where we are today was the disappointment in between the failure. That's where it comes. We get this great idea, and it doesn't go along the lines with what the family wants. Because and I grew up in a religious household. Now we're not Asian, but we grew up religious. So you know what I mean. If I'm not doing something along the lines that can turn me into a pastor or something that can make me great later on, you know.
Right.
Um, so let's say I get this idea, I want to do this, and I go do it, and me doing it is already a disappointment. So when I fail, it's like, see, I told you, look, now go do this. And you start to do what they want to do, and then your drive comes back, and they're like, nah, this ain't me. I'm not comfortable enough. So you go and you get another idea, and they go, again with this, and yeah, and you go do it, and then you fail again. And then boom, it's like, and then it's this continuous pattern of that until one day you don't find exactly what you wanted to do, but you find something that makes you feel like, all right, cool. This ain't what I'm looking for, but this works. This is cool. And you become this better person, which is where we're at today. And the type of and the disappointment that you're talking about, Vic, that the parents that our parents still have to this day is he never did what I wanted him to do. Never did what I wanted him to do. He went his own route and he made it work. It's like this, it's almost a feeling of envy, like you should, like, it's like, I'm proud of you, but you know what you could have been. You could have done better. And that comes in a form of, that can come in a form of, it can come in a form of, one of the biggest things I love to say it comes in the form of, it comes in the form of when you have children and your children get to hang it around your parents and your parents start doing or having your kids do certain things that they wanted you to do growing up. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I know all
And
about
now, and
that.
yeah, and now the new mission from what you were supposed to be is now in your child. You
Right.
know what I
There you
mean?
go.
And that's what I'm going because I'm adopted. And then I
Oh, okay.
went through my situations. Most of
Mhm.
my kids, I have two here with me now, and then six, that I have custody of, and then six, my other six are back home in Tucson, Arizona. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Mhm.
so they're kind of living what I lived without but without the retinitis pigmentosa. You know
Oh,
what I
I see.
mean?
Yes.
You could imagine the newfound mission and goals, especially because they don't have retinitis pigmentosa. They could move a
Right.
little bit better than I can. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it'll be easier. For me, it always felt like my adopted mom had a kind of resentment due to the fact that I was limited to what I can do. I'm not going to be able to be all that I could be and be great unless I became a famous disabled Olympian or something. Or I forget what they call them. So I don't mean no disrespect by using the
Paralympian.
D word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Paralympian. Yeah, I think.
yeah. So unless I become famous off that, I'm not to them. I'm not impressing nobody. I'm not. There's nothing great I can do.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think a
So
lot of
you know what I
times
mean.
parents
That's
are
where I feel like that disappointment you're talking about. I feel like that's where that also comes from. Even to this day, I still feel like to this day there was still that you could have been more than what I raised you to be. Parents, I feel like all parents had that because all parents
yeah,
do.
Yes.
yeah,
Parents see you doing
sure.
Yeah.
something,
We have
whether
that
it's
too. Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yes.
they look at
Yeah.
you, and especially the way you guys are explaining your culture to me. I could only imagine. They could have been a doctor. That's not how I raised them
Exactly.
to be a doctor. I don't know why
Exactly.
they're doing that,
Yeah.
but they could have been a doctor. I don't know why.
Man.
And what the craziest thing about you guys is you explaining the culture to me, hearing it out of your guys' mouth it's such a huge stereotype here in the United States. It's in movies, it's in cartoons. Oh yeah, the Asians are supposed to be doctors, or they're supposed to do this,
Well,
or they're supposed to do
unfortunately, a
that.
lot of the stereotypes are true.
Good with
Yeah,
math,
hey,
right?
Good
same
math.
thing about African Americans. Same thing about
Can
African
play a musical
Americans. The
instrument.
whole same thing about African Americans being aggressive. You know,
Yeah.
the being athletic. A lot of them are athletes, and this, that, and the
Mhm.
third. And you know, it's stereotypes, and a lot of them are factual. But the
Yeah,
disappointment
yeah.
that comes from, you know, with our situation, going back to our situation, the disappointment from parents and everything like that, I feel like that's where it comes from. It's not necessarily disappointment in the disease.
Mhm.
And I don't even want to say that, because at the end of the day, to be disappointed that I couldn't be nothing greater because I was limited because of retinitis pigmentosa, it's obvious that it's like a diet way of saying the disease is the reason you got that disease, and it caused you to
Yes.
be this, and now I can't look at you the same. It's like a diet
Oh,
version of that.
yes, yes. Yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same way. Yeah, I really, really feel what you're saying because, yeah, part of it that feeling of time is running out. Never for me, it never goes away. I'm feeling it right now. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
anything I
Yeah.
start doing, like anything I start doing, like it feels like, oh, I might not be able to do it tomorrow. Like you feel like even just doing this podcast, like, oh, I feel like I gotta
Yeah.
hit a home run even from episode one. Where in normal
Yeah.
people be like, okay, it's going to take 20, 30, maybe 100 episodes to get your groove or something.
Yeah, but we don't have 20 or 30 years to do this.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the same feeling I get when I'm applying for jobs, or when I'm in
right,
the studio, when I'm posting my music. And what's so messed up about my music and me trying to do it with my music is I never wanted to be famous or make any money off my music. I don't care about that. My music was for me, like this
right.
new genre of music and this niche I got with the Retina Rap, which is music to inspire, blind and visual impaired, etc.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's not even supposed to be, profitable. None of that. The music that I made before Retina Rap was
Yeah.
supposed to be my version of being of giving the world my anger. You know,
Right.
and that was it. It was never supposed to be nothing other than freestyling on the block with the homies back in the day. Like it was never supposed to go past that. But now it feels like that's why I had to do the Retina Rap thing. Because if I
Right.
am gonna do it in some type of way like that, I have to inspire somebody and motivate somebody. I can no longer do it. If I have to do it in a way of, oh, now I have to get this many people to listen to it. Okay, well, if I have to now look at it that way,
Hmm.
it's got to be for motivation and inspiration now. I got to
Well,
reach
picking
those
up
people
on
so I can
the
inspire
sorry
them.
to interrupt. Picking up on the
Go ahead.
Daredevil theme, Hurricane. Do you think that having RP kind of sharpened your other senses, like in particular your hearing, and does that help your music?
Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I know.
It plays a
Sorry for the
huge part.
crazy pivot here, but it just occurred to me that, like Daredevil, because you lost your sight, well, now you got other senses
Yeah,
sharpened, right, to
I
another
did want to
level, right?
elaborate on that. I did want to elaborate on that, man.
Yes.
Reynold know, man.
Yeah,
Once
sure.
you like right now, I'm talking to you guys. I can hear exactly what my kids are doing right now.
Right. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I hear so many different noise from the base of the heater in the basement to the
Right.
kids to my girl's phone to us talking all the way down to the oven cooking in the kitchen right now. Like I hear at least 10 different noises at once. And I promise you, you guys are like, oh man, that's crazy. Me and Reynold are like, man, please everybody shut the hell up. Please shut
Too
up.
much noise.
Please shut up.
Yeah. So
Man, I'm
distracting
telling
sometimes. I
you,
can't
man.
concentrate.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, what does it
Another
do for
thing
your
too,
music, though, Hurricane? Having that kind of
my my
ability.
my music, my for my music, it brings the bass for me. For me, it's the bass. It does a lot. It enhances a lot. But the fact that I can get enhanced bass through
Mhm.
headphones, through a car, through a speaker, That's always my thing. Like when
Ah,
my
I see what
biggest
you
thing,
mean. Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
girlfriend would tell you, I gotta feel that bass. If I and it's not even just a music thing, it's something about if I can feel that bass in my chest or in my back or in my head, it almost brings a better rhythm for me.
Right. Oh, that's so
It's
interesting.
like I'm speaking with the beat. Yeah,
That's interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was trying. Well, I was guessing that, but I wasn't sure, and you just confirmed it for me. It's the same as like when we're trying to concentrate, we close our eyes, right? It's easier to get into
yeah.
that headspace or to sync yourself up or get in tune with whatever it is that you're trying to do, especially music.
I want to ask, Reynold, when you first started trying to focus, when you do focus on something or something, do you close your eyes or do you, because what I used to look through my peripheral when even if I'm thinking about something or I'm looking at something or really focused on something, I
Yeah.
start with my peripheral. I don't close my eyes. I look out of my peripheral
Oh,
and I keep my eyes
more.
open.
Oh, nowadays I do try to close my eyes and try to focus. You know that those scenes in Daredevil where he's like perched on the roof and he's like trying to
Yeah,
hear all
yeah,
the whole
yeah,
city's like
yeah,
noise and
Like a
like
bat, right?
heartbeat. Yeah,
Echoes,
right.
basically.
He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I sort of take a page from that. I'm sort of like I stop and close my eyes and try to like pretend I'm Daredevil. I'm trying to listen across the street to
yeah,
see what if I could cross or not or whatnot. But I
yeah,
think in the beginning, when I could still see from when I could still consider high partial, I still try to use my vision. I think we try to use that to as much as possible, and then
yeah,
but it's so when it comes to other senses, people say, "Oh, it's not automatic. You actually have to train it. It's like a muscle." So for me, that's how it was explained to me. Because in the beginning, yeah, I don't hear all this stuff when I started like slowly losing my sight. It was still hard for me to like, oh, when people I get orientation training and stuff like that, and they always say, "Oh, you listen to the flow of traffic." I was like, "What flow? What sound? What are you talking about?" But it's
yeah,
actually a
yeah,
muscle.
yeah,
It's like senses are muscles. So
yeah,
it could be true that someone can train their hearing to the level of Daredevil,
yeah,
but it really takes practice. Like I have 20 years of practice of trying to use my hearing, so
yeah.
that's
Me
why I
too.
can hear all this stuff. I could hear my son upstairs trying to creep around and trying to
Yeah.
get to things that I told him. Hey, don't touch that. Leave that in the closet. You're supposed to be going to bed. I could hear him. Right? I
Yeah,
know exactly
yeah,
what he's opening and what he's trying to get out. But it's not like I could do it 20 years ago. It's because I
All right, you guys are officially freaking me out because now I have to be careful around you guys. Like if I ever meet you in person, I'd be like, okay, all right, you can't hide anything from these guys. They can't see, but they kind of know what you're
yeah.
up to.
yeah
You wanna
yeah.
know one of the best. Hey, Renaud, how good are you at the game Jenga?
Jenga? No, I don't,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't play that
the
anymore.
game, the game
Uh,
with the blocks where you
yeah,
stack
yeah,
the
I used
blocks
to
up
be
and you
good. I
gotta.
used to be good, but I don't play that anymore. But I haven't played that for a while.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while either. But one of the funniest things about the game Jenga that I always bring up, it's one of my favorite things to bring up. Me and my brother-in-law, we played a game of drunken Jenga where if you knock it down, you got to drink, you got to take shots.
Nice.
And
Oh yeah,
I had told
it's a good
him,
game.
I told him, I said, look, man, I said, you don't want to do this with me, man. And he goes, nah, man, you're gonna lose. You're gonna drunk. You're gonna drink the whole bottle. I said, nah, man. I said, if anything, I'm gonna be irritated because I'm not gonna get to drink at all. And so, oh, no. And so we start playing, and I go, and it's my first turn. We go, my girlfriend goes, my brother-in-law goes, then it's my turn. I go all the way to the bottom at the basically the one block that holds the foundation, and I lightly tap it and I pull it up out of there. And he looks at me and he goes to take his piece out, knocks over the thing, has to take a shot. This goes on for now when we bought the bottle was I mean, we took maybe a couple shots each out of it. So one shot each, maybe three shots out of it. Still pretty full bottle. By the time we got done, the bottle was gone, man. By him. He
Are you
drank the whole bottle.
serious?
And oh yeah, yeah. I hustled him good. And here's how. Here's how I told him, I said, Me and him, he's sitting there drunk at the table, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't believe I done damn near drunk the whole bottle." And so I told him, I said, "Here's where you messed up, man, and here's where I got you." I said, I have visual impairment. I got this retinitis pigmentosa thing. And even though I don't like it, it comes with its perks. And one of those greatest perks about retinitis pigmentosa is we have the lightest touch in the world. Blind people, people with visual impairment, people who cannot see, have the lightest touch in the world. We have a very sensitive touch. If you've
Reynolds,
ever had a
that should be your selling point to future potential girlfriends. People with
yeah, there
RP,
you go.
we've got the
Sensual
touch.
touch.
We're
Yeah,
sensual
we got a
people.
smooth, not just we like them, we got a smooth touch. That's the
Oh,
thing
there
Exactly.
about
you
it. We
go.
got a smooth
That should be
touch.
that should
So
be
when
your
you're playing
tagline,
Jenga,
right?
Right.
That should be your profile. Like you
On
should
all
play
the
that up.
dating apps, right?
Right.
yeah,
It's like we lose one sense, but we, develop other senses, if you catch my
Exactly.
drift,
yeah,
right?
Oh man.
exactly.
Oh,
So when you're playing Jenga, I'm explaining to him. So when you're playing Jenga, when I'm playing Jenga, I'm not even really grabbing pieces. I'm just lightly pushing them out the way.
yes.
And I'm not even really. And he looks at me and he's like, "Oh, you got me." I say, "Yeah, man. You want to play again?" And now to this day, if I ask him to play a game of Jenga, that man will not play a game of Jenga with me. To this day, he will not play another game of Jenga with me at all.
All right,
He
another
will
hard
not.
pivot,
Lesson
gentlemen.
learned.
Okay, so Hurricane, I gotta ask. So, at that time, you were incarcerated and having RP. How did you survive that?
To be honest, I uh glasses and to be honest, no, I can't even say glasses. I didn't care for myself. To be honest, the carelessness for not the carelessness for consequence. I didn't really have a care for consequence, not
Oh
towards
man.
crime, not towards life, not towards. It's like if somebody disrespect me, we get into it. I can't see what he doing. He pull out a pencil and stab me. Well, then, hey, oh well. That's just what happened. My home
Wow.
situation made it to where it didn't really matter what happened, and if I got it, I always, and it's not even that I picked and choose where I got into it with people at or anything like that or anything in there. It just, if it went down in here, it
Mhm.
just goes down regardless. Like I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And on top
It's
of that,
amazing
like
to me because like obviously, unlike you gentlemen, I can relate on some level, but not entirely, right? Because I don't have RP. It's hard enough to have RP in the outside world. I can't imagine having RP when you're incarcerated. Like, how do you protect
it's a,
yourself? How do you get
it's a
basic
little
stuff
bit better.
done?
It's a little bit better, to be honest, in a way.
Wow, really, really, I gotta
Um,
hear this. Okay,
and the
tell me.
reason why I say that is because in the outside world, you're looked at like, well, you know how the treatment. Reynold knows how the treatment goes, man. You're
Yes.
either looked at like, you're either looked at like you need to, like you're either assisted too much, or nobody
Right.
gives up about you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right, right, you're right. Yeah, yeah. Reynolds talked about that before. Yeah.
In jail, it's like these the homies that rock with you. These the homies that don't. The homies that rock with you, they gonna make sure you good no matter what, regardless. They don't, even if you can
Oh,
take care of
okay.
yourself.
So in
So
some
Right.
ways,
if
it's
we
actually
playing
simple.
basketball,
Okay, so in some
yeah,
ways, it's actually
it's way
simpler.
better.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's way, and then the stuff you do know how to do, people are really impressed by like my basketball skills. Oh man, I get
Mm,
somebody on the podcast right now, one of my old friends from back in the day, man, D could ball, man. Like, so when the stuff that you are good at with your disability, when you're in jail, people take notice to that. People you appreciate more in jail. That saying of,
right, right.
and
Yeah.
let's put eyesight, let's put RP aside. Let's just say I'm
Right.
in jail, 20/20 vision. We don't have burgers and we don't get pizza and from Pizza Hut or nothing like that. So say we get one day they bring Pizza Hut in. Do you know
Mhm.
how much we appreciate just that one slice of pizza from Pizza Hut in jail?
Right, right.
We appreciate that so much more because we don't have it. So
Right.
bring the retinitis pigmentosa back in it. Now I got retinitis pigmentosa, and people are like, oh damn, that's messed up. He got eyesight, but then I get into a fight and I knock the dude out, or we playing ball and I'm balling up, you know what I mean? Now
Mhm.
everybody's like, oh snap! When I know we didn't know he could do that, you know. Oh,
Right.
whoa, that's
Mm.
new. Like, hey man, where you gonna do that at? Like, bro, I've been training myself for years. I've been on the streets kind of training myself to do the stuff for years. Now you're the cool guy, and but when you get on the outs, that doesn't matter anymore because there's thousands of people like you on the outs,
God
but
damn, I
on
Right.
the
never thought of it
inside,
that way. Reynolds, in
it's
like
just you.
in gaming terms, it's kind of like applying a buff that's like a double-edged sword, right, on your character. It's
Yes.
like
Yeah,
you apply this buff on the character, whatever you manage to pull off earns you double points, right? More
yeah,
Right.
respect and
Yeah.
more people are more impressed, right? Yet at the same
Yes.
time, because you have this buff on you, certain things become quite a challenge. God damn it, I never saw it that way. Interesting.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. So
So you can
yeah.
imagine when you come out into, or when I come out into the world from being in jail, you could understand why I say nothing. Oh, blind dude, and this dude can't ball. He can't even see. Dude, blind, he can't see. You could understand why none of that bothers me. Like, bro, I just spent 7.5 months balling like I was in the NBA. Ain't you not finna? There's nothing nobody could tell me after 7 months balling. Like, go ask them. You think
Right.
that, but go ask them. You think,
Right. So
you think.
in a long roundabout way, let's circle back to my original question for you gentlemen, which is like, so how much vision do you have left?
I Let me see, man. The stuff. What can I compare it to? So I don't. So when I play basketball now, I don't. So let me compare it to when I play basketball. So now when I play basketball, I can no longer see. I have to really focus to shoot now. There's no more full on games anymore.
Mhm.
When I go to the
Gotcha.
basketball court now, it's just to shoot because if I'm running and I could still see the lines on the court, where to run to, where to shoot at, where at what point I want to shoot at. But as
Right.
soon as I look up to shoot that ball into the basket, that basket with the net disappears. And I have to
Oh,
focus.
okay.
I have to
Okay.
focus to find it. Or I have to be real close up with that check ball. I have to be pretty up close, and you have to basically pass it to me in my hand, and I dribble down the court with it. And I'm still able to pass it to people, but I cannot see who I'm passing it to. Like, it's to the point where I can't tell if
Oh,
you're a
wow.
part of my
Okay.
team or if you're a part of
Right.
the other team. But I know
Right.
you're
Right.
right there. I see your uniform and everything. Unless we have different colored shirts,
Hmm.
I don't know who I'm passing it to. So that's why there's no more pickup games at the park with randoms,
Right.
because I don't want to risk playing and I pass the ball to the wrong people and people be like, dude, you just passed that right to them. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
Right.
that's
What about
kind
for
of
you,
the
Reynolds?
benefit
Like,
I have.
how much vision do you have left?
Uh, I'm not sure how to explain it too. I know there's like a correct way of of uh, of the what was it the number that they have a percentage of. I never go by that because it's like
Yeah, I don't either.
yeah. Yeah, so it's just based
Yeah.
off so I'm probably a little bit worse than Hurricane here. So I I was never good at sports even when I could fully see. So that would not be something I impress people with. But so for me, I can't see like right now I can't see my computer. So I'm just trying to aim myself towards the sound of my computer. But I
Same.
really yeah
Same.
it's just a everything's just a blur even if I put it up. So let's just say I have like assist like these what was it? It's like it's called CCTV, which is enlarges text like a big monitor. You can put your
Mhm.
and I'm pretty much enlarging everything where I'm only like looking at 3 letters at a time almost. So I'm
Mhm.
not even able to see full. So I can't. So everything I do now is I use screen readers. So I can't really see. I feel I see it very little. And I told someone once who was also I think she had RP too, but I was sort of explaining it's because we were able to see before. At least I was able to see before. So a lot of things like I'm back living with my parents, so it's a house I grew up in, so I know the layout of the
Mhm.
house and all everything.
Yep.
So sometimes your memory, places I've been to, places I go a lot, your memory starts to fill up the gaps. I don't know about you, Hurricane. For me,
Yeah.
a lot of things I feel like I question myself: am I really seeing this, or is it my brain filling in the blind spots for me?
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
interesting.
yeah, it's
Wow.
Yep.
very yeah
Okay.
yeah. So because sometimes when I go to a new place or I'm totally lost, I'm like I have no idea what's going on here. Like but
Same.
So,
when I
for
go,
example, if you put your palm right in front of your eyes, can you see your
yeah,
palm?
uh, no, it's pretty blurry, but I need to hold it up close. I can't see any details basically, but I see the shape. I think, yeah, I see the
Oh,
shape.
okay.
Yeah.
Does the light also diminish? I know it gets blurred now. Okay, so I get what
Yeah.
you guys are saying now, but what about the amount of light coming in? Does the amount of light coming in diminish as well, or no? That remains the same
I think it's different for me. It feels like it's more light coming in.
because everything's fuzzy and blurry, right? Like everything's soft.
It feels like it could be because of the blind spots, but my blind spot feels like it's more white, like a white blind
Okay.
spot. So
What
it
about
feels
for you,
like when
Hurricane?
So for me, so right now I deal with my peripheral. So I'm at the stage where when I was growing up, I used my peripheral a lot. My center was
Mhm.
messed up.
Okay.
Now, now I look more in my center and my peripheral's messing up.
Okay.
So when I look at my phone right now, I could look at my phone straight and I could see like certain things going on. I can't see full detail of my phone. I could see Reynold. I could not him. I could tell he's on the phone. I could see my little square, but I cannot fully see me in it. I could tell
Okay.
there's words on my phone, but I can't read unless I get about. So I have to actually pick my phone up and get about this just for the
Ah,
camera, so
right.
about this close to see what's going on with my phone. Um, what else?
No wonder you got into so
Certain.
many fights when you were younger. Because if you were using peripheral so much, people probably thought you were giving them the stink eye.
Oh man. I wish I had
That's why
my.
you
I
got.
wish
That's
I
why
had
you got
my.
into so many fights, Hurricane. Like, oh man, he's giving me the stink
I
eye
wish I
again.
had
But
my
like, they didn't know
cousin.
you're actually just like having a difficult time seeing. But you're trying to look from the
Yeah.
side of your eye, right?
Here's the thing with that, man. I used to drive people crazy with that, and it used to make my cousin laugh because my cousin's been there for a lot of my fights as well. And when I would put my hands up and I would look to the side, it was almost like I could and then as a teenager I could see perfectly out of my peripheral. Not like 2020, but I was damn near close. I mean, I don't know what 2020 is like, but I could damn near. I'm assuming in my version of what 2020 would be like out of my peripheral as a teenager. So if I look to the side, I could see your face, your nose, your mustache, and yeah, everything. You know what I mean? As a teenager. So when I look to the side, I used to be able to see people look that way too. Like, who you got coming up? I've had somebody ask me in the past. I'm not blowing smoke, man. I've had somebody ask me, "Oh, who you calling in? Who you expecting?" And it just, man, really? Like I look this way and do think I got somebody coming in the room or something, but he's not knowing that he's finna get punched in the face in 2.2 seconds. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and that used to freak people out, man. Like, man, how he fighting you and he looking this way. I'm like, yeah, man. And
Yeah, it's an
I never
ongoing
explained
joke
it.
back
I
in high
never,
school, because a lot of us Chinese dudes, I don't know, it must be genetic. But a lot of us wear glasses, right? So
yeah.
yeah, everyone's basically blind without their glasses. So like some mornings when you rush to school and you forget to wear your glasses and you're at the general assembly, right? And you're giving people on your left and the right, the stink eye, because you're just trying to focus actually. And then here's the ongoing joke, because
Yeah.
us Asians, we have such little eyes, right? We're all slanty eyed, right? So it gets even worse. It feels like people are like, "Are you trying to pick a fight here?" It's like, no, dude, I just forgot my glasses. I'm sorry. Oh man, so
Oh
funny.
man.
Uh,
Yeah, for me,
Anyway,
that's probably one of the things that used to embarrass me. That I get not like embarrassed out loud, because I'm
mhm,
not good at being embarrassed, man. My girlfriend would tell you, I get embarrassed, I get pissed off. If I get embarrassed, I
mhm.
get mad. I'm cussing somebody out. I'm throwing something. I'm punching something, a wall,
Right.
something. I get really frustrated when I get embarrassed. Really frustrated. Because like I said, I get stuck in a jail mentality.
Right.
I do have what some people call a stir crazy mindset. I can be like this, I can be this hurricane, and then I can be Donnell from back in the day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In a
mhm.
second. Obviously, that's better managed. I'm reformed, but it never leaves you. You
No.
know. Um. So with that, with being frustrated, I'm sorry, I kind of got thrown off, man. I'm listening to my kids, and see,
No,
that's
it's okay. But I
oh,
was
that's
Go
gonna
the
ahead.
ask
It's
most
you,
distraction.
frustrating part. That's the
the
most frustrating part about having that
yeah,
bionic hearing, man. Is you hear
Yeah.
something that catches
yeah,
your
you get
attention, and you're like,
distracted.
Like, what are they doing?
oh my god.
Uh,
But
What was
I
I
think that's
talking
where the
about, man?
music comes into the picture, right? Like
Yeah,
music is
okay,
your
that's where
way
I was
of, it's
going.
like a
yeah.
self-expression. Like you said earlier, that you do music for yourself. Like it's your way of expressing yourself. So like in the early days
Yeah,
was about you
yeah,
sharing your anger, and nowadays it's about sharing your RP. So it's really like music is your way to heal and your form of self-expression, right?
yeah. It definitely was, and I wanted to too, like with the whole like lighting situation and how the eyesight is. When I do performances, when I go out to Arizona and I do performances out of my hometown, out of my city, I've now I go with my girl. If I don't have somebody to roll with me, I probably won't. I probably will
Yeah,
reschedule a
that's just
show
be
or
smart, of
just
course. Yeah.
yeah, see you next time.
Yeah.
Um, I still make it a thing to try to go by myself. If my girlfriend can't go, I
Mhm.
do try to go by myself. I do.
Okay.
One of the biggest things and toughest things with that is, for one, settings always dark, always
Mhm.
dark. Lightings are always messed up. They're never gonna accommodate the guy with the retinitis pigmentosa. You know what I
Right.
mean? In
That's the
the in
one
the
out of a
in the
million, right?
venues like
Hey,
that.
even for
Yeah,
people without
exactly.
RP, those kind of places, lighting's never good. You trip on wires, you trip on drinks,
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even
Oh man,
even for it happens to the best of us.
I've knocked the DJ system over during a set before. I'm talking
Yeah.
about mid song, bumped
Uh-huh.
into the table in the back of me and knocked the DJ's computer off the table.
Oh man.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Oh
like
man.
music cut off, and the crowd is like, oh,
Ooh.
DJ looking at me like he want to take my head off. You know what I mean? Because
Oh, man.
what music is to me,
Yeah.
DJing is to him. So
Right.
Yeah.
to him,
Exactly.
I just knocked his kid off the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that
I,
is.
I guess I got to
Uh,
And
acapella this shit now. But
it's
wait a
that, and
second.
then
Where
it's
can we hear your music? Do you have a link that you can give Reynold that we can attach to the
yeah. We
podcast
should. We
so
should put that. Yes.
we could listen to your music?
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah. Just
do
email
actually.
me, and I'll put it in the
Yeah.
description,
Email
so
it to Reynold and
people
we
would
can
have
attach
access to it. Yeah, because I
right.
I'd
So
love
we
to
can
check it out
kind of
too
like
as
our
well.
last episode with
Yeah,
Emily. Like we
Yeah.
put her information on the podcast so people can go and listen to her music.
Yes. Yeah.
I can most definitely do that. Yeah, most definitely.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
So
but
usually at this point in the podcast, we usually uh, each say words of wisdom that we leave with the listener. Let's start with you, Hurricane. Like, what kind of words of wisdom would you like to leave with our listeners?
um, My biggest thing for this week is my word for the week, I should say, is patience. Um, and not necessarily with anybody, but with yourself. If you can master patience with yourself, you don't have to worry about patience with anything or anybody else. Um, so my biggest
Wow.
thing is patience. Have a little bit more, have a lot more patience for yourself. Perfect it. Perfect patience with yourself. You can.
That's really profound,
Patience,
man.
like I
Wow.
said,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel it.
Patience with
Yeah.
yourself is patience with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Hear
that's
that.
definitely
I hear
great.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a good takeaway. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
Reynolds? What kind of words of wisdom you want to impart on us this week?
Well, I don't want to, overshadow Hurricane here, but I think he makes a good point. Patience is definitely good. Patient with everything in life and with your kids. But patient, just hearing his journey. I could definitely relate to his journey. The it's a patient that we survived to this point that we're still standing. Because even for
Yeah.
for me, there's maybe he felt it too. Like the time he says when you're incarcerated, when you're in jail, that feeling like if I get stabbed, I get stabbed. Who cares, right? And I even
Yeah.
even though I wasn't in jail, I have that same feeling at a period of my time, and sometimes it pops into my head too. Hey, I'm useless. So if I die, I die. I die on this plane, I die. If I die on the
Yeah.
street, I get run over, then so be it. So what's the that's probably the better thing that could happen to me. So it's
Yeah.
it's really the journey. I really resonate with your journey, and I think everyone should just honestly, the journey makes who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's what everyone should, just enjoy the journey. To be honest, you might not be that famous person at the end. You might not be, you know, a famous podcaster or a famous rap artist or whatnot. But so who cares, right? Like what
Yeah.
Hurricane is doing it for yourself. Like for me and Vic, we said we're doing this podcast for ourselves. So what if we don't have millions of followers? Hey, I mean,
Yeah.
makes us happy, right? So I
Yeah.
think everyone just should focus on the journey, be happy with the journey, and with
I don't know about you,
yeah,
but I got a cool Chinese name, so I'm Chang. So
right,
I got that
right,
going for me.
Dang.
right. That's a cool Chinese name. I don't. I can't even say it. Can't even say it
I'm
right.
sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Check.
All jokes aside,
Check.
yeah,
Right.
no, 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 no. Thank you for sharing. My words of
Nah, I
wisdom really
appreciate it.
isn't so much like words of wisdom, but just like what I learned from the both of you today. I feel like your stories are so interesting and so powerful, and I can't relate on one level, but I can relate on other levels, and just hearing your stories is very inspiring for me. And yeah, I feel like mentally we're all in a better headspace now. I think that's one of the
Yeah.
benefits of having undergone trials. If you come out of it on the other side, it doesn't mean your problems disappear, but you do settle down in a more comfortable headspace that's not so
Yeah.
extreme. Yeah. So mental health is really important, you know. Plus, it's some gore is okay, some morbidity is okay because it is Halloween. We are it is
Right.
it is a
Yes.
holiday
Yes.
special
Yes.
episode
Don't
after
Right.
all.
don't forget that. Don't forget
Right.
it's Halloween.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we should go one more circle around. What's your favorite candy or something? Like we gotta
Tootsie
something.
Rolls. Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie
Tootsie Rolls.
Rolls.
Tootsie
All right.
Tootsie.
Mine's
You so
mine's
old
Reese's.
school.
Tootsie.
Reese's.
You so old school.
I
Tootsie
know.
Rolls. Okay.
Oh man.
Look, it used to be Reese's,
Yes.
but for Valentine's Day killed it for me, man. I got this. My girlfriend got me this big old Reese's peanut butter heart
It sounds
thing.
good.
It was like a
Well, sounds
big
pretty good
old.
actually.
Oh, it's
Yes.
good. It's
It
good.
sounds great.
It's good. But it's how many pounds was that thing? It was like that thing had weight on it, man. It
Oh,
had
man. You,
the thing probably
you,
weighed
you
like
could
if you
work
put
out
your
with it.
shoe in your hand. Yeah, but if you put your shoe in your hand, it probably weighed about the same as your shoe. You know,
Oh
like
wow.
the whole
That's a little too
chocolate
much
thing.
Reese's. So I get it. You
Yeah.
kind of sick of
All
that
right.
taste right
So
now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So now you
Uh,
know, man. I'm done with Reese's. That's what killed
oh
Reese's
man.
for me, man.
I'll have your
Ugh.
Reese's
Reynold,
then.
what's your
All right.
favorite candy, Reynold?
Yeah. For me, it's Reese's. Yeah. So Hurricane can send over his Reese's to me. I'll send my
Yeah, he'll be glad to accept
Tootsie
your
Yeah.
Rolls
Reese's
over
Yeah.
to
For
someday.
him.
sure.
We'll
Yeah.
trade.
For sure.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll take all the Tootsie Rolls, man. That's my
there you
thing.
go.
But for sure, we're gonna go trick or treating later. I'm gonna take the kids. Me and my girlfriend, we're gonna go trick or treating later.
Nice.
Um,
That's what
go with
we're
some
going to be doing
candy.
later too. What about you, Vic?
Yeah, they do things.
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
This is so cultural specific. I don't think you guys will know this. There's this where I come from. When I was growing up in the Philippines, there's this candy called White Rabbit.
Oh,
White
I know
Rabbit.
that. Yeah, I think I heard of that.
never.
Yeah.
It sounds like a
I haven't heard of
vibrator, right? It sounds like a
Right.
sex toy.
Oh my goodness.
it.
What's your favorite candy? White Rabbit. You know.
Right?
So
No, whoa,
What
whoa. No, let's
what
keep it
is it though?
PG.
I've never.
White
What is
Rabbit.
it though? I've never.
It's kind of
I
like
haven't
this.
heard of it. What is it?
I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a nougat, but it doesn't taste very good. But it's just one of those old school things. And then when you were a kid, you didn't have much, and then when somebody gives you a white
Yeah.
rabbit, you're
Okay.
happy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As an adult, if I go back and I take one of those free white rabbits from a tray, like I wonder to myself, what did I ever see in this candy? Why do I like it so
Yeah.
much? But that's
Yeah.
kind of like life in a nutshell, isn't it, gentlemen?
Yeah,
Right? You go
exactly.
back
Yeah.
and sometimes
Yeah.
things are not as rosy as they used to be.
Yep,
No, you're
that's
right.
right.
You're right.
Yeah, and with that, I
Most
think
definitely.
we can end our
Okay.
Halloween special. I hope
Yep,
everybody
yep.
enjoyed listening to this episode, right, Reynold?
Yes. Hope everyone
I
enjoyed
appreciate.
today's. Yes. I definitely enjoyed it,
I
Hurricane.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank
I
you.
appreciate you guys having me. I appreciate
Yeah,
you guys having me, man. Thank you.
Thank you
yes.
for
Thank you.
coming on. Remember
Thank
to
you.
send the
Yes.
links to us so we can all, kind of share your music and listen to it too.
I am
Exactly.
most definitely gonna get to that. I'm most definitely gonna
Yes.
get to that as soon as we get off here. I don't want to mess around and press something that I'm gonna mess everything up. So
Oh, no worries. Yes, yes. No,
I'm
no,
gonna get all the
take your
links
time.
together.
Yeah, take your time.
Thank you for being
But
our special
yeah,
guest for our first
exactly.
holiday special,
Yeah,
Asian
all
Uncles
right.
podcast
Holiday
very first
special,
holiday
right?
special. Thank you for being our
Thank
guest.
you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
And then just for everyone out there, remember to like and subscribe, share, so everyone can learn more about Hurricane here. And again, stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Peace out.